Don, I just want to talk a bit about you and this season so far. A lot of people have really raved about you this season, and you know your role in that back part of the Chiefs scrum. What's it like when people are lavishing praise upon you?
It's quite. I mean, it's different, and I don't know if it's in my characteristic to really lap that kind of stuff up. So I don't really know how to react to it. Obviously, my mom always says it's good to get compliments like that, but I think it's also important to make sure I stay grounded, because you can see a lot of things where people change after getting these kind of compliments. I think it's quite easy to get caught up in those kind of things, but I think at the end of the day, I focus on trying to stay grounded and just focus on the team. I suppose that helps a lot.
And it seems that in that part that you have, it really is a big collective, and you all seem to work hard for one another, and it's all very interchangeable. If Julian's out 1 week, Tom Johnson comes in and does just as good a job, and or I say Ben White, obviously he's not here at the moment, but that sort of thing, and lots of people change around. It just seems that it always seems to be very consistent.
Yeah, I think there's a big ethos in the team that everyone works for each other. So I don't think there's anyone in the team that puts themselves first, and I think that's quite a good job done by obviously the coaches and the leaders, and Jens as captain, and the way he pushes the team forward. So I think everyone knows that when they come in there, they've got a job to do, and they're going to make sure they do it, otherwise they're not going to stay there.
Yeah. What's the pressure like at the moment with Exeter? Because okay, you lost to Sarries at the weekend, but you're still up there at the top of the table, and people are really starting to shoot for you guys now. And whereas Exeter often were a bit under the radar in the last few seasons, it's not the case this year.
Yeah, I think the last few years that they're not really under the radar because now people are noticing them. So I suppose they were living up to they were exceeding expectations, whereas now people have expectations. So the pressure has shifted from, we really want to see you do well, to we still want to see you do well, but now we expect you to do well. And I think the guys have really, looking at our season so far, they've really taken to the challenge. Obviously, we had the top of the table clash with Sarries, and those kind of games can go either way. I don't think it's a reflection that we couldn't handle the pressure at the top. I think we play them again next Saturday, I think the results will be different. So I think the team in general has shifted very well to the mentality of the top of the table pressure. And I think the boys have reacted well, and you can see in the way they play.
Indeed, and I just wonder, you obviously have Sale this weekend, and obviously last year at Sale was the start of a little bit of a run of poor results. Is that in your mind when you go into a game like that? We didn't do well here last year. We need to turn this around, or a bit of fear. Do you know what I mean?
No, I don't think fear would be the right word. I think it's just being aware of what's happened. It's just aware that when you go away to Sale and what kind of things they bring. It's not the fact that we lost you and this can happen. It's just being aware from make sure we're prepared fully. Obviously, last year was last year. This is a new year. We've got a few new players, so hoping that we can kind of stick to our guns and do what we do well, and come up with the result we want.
You say be aware of what they bring. What do they bring?
Obviously I'm quite fresh to the scene, but you say Sale can bring their grunt and they try and get niggly and try and be physical, but I think we're the kind of team that can react to that and even surpass that. So we're just going to make sure we're up for the challenge.
You had a big victory, obviously, over them on Boxing Day. So it's not a million miles ago, sort of time-wise, that you last played them. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I guess you have good memories in the fact you did very well against them, but there will be that familiarity as well.
I think it depends how you mentally prepare for games. So certain players will relish the fact that we won and get confidence from that, whereas other guys might get complacent. So it's important that everyone's kind of got the same mentality going into the new match, and that's the fact that yes, we did beat them, but that doesn't mean that it's going to help any situation that we might meet up there. It's a completely new game, new field, new environment, different fans, different day, and we all know how rugby is. Things can go your way or things can not go your way. So
yeah. You look at what the Chiefs are doing, and in particular, for example, next season with like Greg Holmes and Dave Dennis coming in, and the strengthening of that squad with other overseas players. How exciting is that?
I think it's very exciting because you look at where Chiefs have come from, where they're going, and that obviously with people wanting to come and sign here, you know that we're being respected from not just English clubs, but obviously everyone that watches the competition from overseas, and I think that's just a testament to how far Chiefs have come since they've been promoted.
Are you English qualified or?
Yeah, as far as I know.
I wasn't quite sure, I mean, because obviously, Eddie Jones has picked a squad, and they've talked about people like Mitch Lees and what have you. Is that something which you would consider? Because obviously, by your accent, we all know that you're not necessarily English born, but is that something you consider?
I've been asked this before, and I think I give the same answer. Is that you kind of want to be you want the players here, they want to go to a high level, so you don't want to be stuck in, I'm happy to be playing here. So obviously, if there's a higher team to play for, you want guys to be able to push themselves to stand a chance to be in those teams. And if they're not, then that's fine, as long as the guys are giving the all out here. And I think that's where I stand. If opportunity comes knocking, then that's great. If it doesn't, that doesn't mean that I'm going to play within my comfort zone.
No, you're not going to cry about it either, are you? That's fantastic, good answer.